Finally, the right motorcycle for this test track. Welcome to 1000 PS TV and welcome to the 1000 PS lap time test track with the KTM 690 SMC R. Did it live up to expectations? And did I ride it well enough? The answer is in this video. Yes, I have ridden hundreds of motorcycles on this track, and for over 100 of them, we have recorded the lap times. And for 90 of those, the comments below always say, this is not the right bike for this track. Well, this is the right bike for this track. But I am not the right rider for this bike. I have to say, dear viewers, I am just a regular motorcyclist. My last supermoto was 20 years ago, almost exactly. That is why this video will be particularly interesting for all of you who are also regular riders and want to know what you can do with a KTM 690 SMCR, a seriously sharp supermoto, on seriously sharp tires. It is fitted with the premium Conti Attack SM Evo 2 tires, probably the sportiest and fastest street legal tires you can still get for road use. And what can a regular motorcyclist actually put down on the asphalt with this bike? Well, first, let me share my riding impressions. When you first climb onto this motorcycle, the amount of suspension travel is quite surprising. It is and remains a supermoto, not a supersport bike. And all that suspension travel means you have reserves for rough roads and jumps during races. But it also means that if you are used to sporty motorcycles, you might initially feel a bit unsettled by how much movement and instability there is in the chassis. On the other hand, you quickly realize that this bike actually handles its lively attitude very well. You just have to be a bit tougher in the saddle. Over time, you get used to all the movement, and you begin to understand that this agility and flexibility allow you to change your line playfully and incredibly quickly. So I noticed 3 major riding mistakes in this lap. That is rare. I usually ride quite consistently with all bikes here. But this time, I spotted 3 significant errors that definitely had an impact on the lap time. However, I think what this bike does really well is quickly adapting to a new line and a new riding situation. We have really good brakes here. We have a very capable suspension setup. We have a seating position that allows for a lot of agility. And I hope you can see it in the video. I am moving around a lot, sitting on one side of the seat, then switching to the other. I am pushing the bike aggressively into the corners, not aiming for smoothness and flow, but really trying to push it hard, at least within my own limits. You have a single-cylinder engine that responds unbelievably well and delivers power impressively. That is not something you can say about all single cylinders, and it was certainly not always the case in the past. But with this one, you can take tight corner first gear, or you can roll out of them smoothly in second or third with no stuttering or hesitation, just a linear surge of torque. It works brilliantly. What is the downside due to its design? Well, you have a relatively high seat height, which makes it a bit tricky for shorter riders. On the other hand, what benefits all riders, including beginners, is the playful nature of its lightweight chassis. The combination of low weight, a wide handlebar, and precise handling makes it very approachable. If you are not intimidated by its raw and lively nature, and if you have even a bit of natural talent for two-wheel riding, this bike is incredibly accessible. That means people with good instincts for movement can handle this machine well. And let's be honest, they will probably end up doing some pretty reckless things with it. Kids, teenagers, and young at heart adults with a natural talent for movement can pull off some breathtakingly cool stuff with a bike like this. I am not naturally gifted in that way. I take a more analytical approach, so I focused on identifying its strengths. One of the biggest strengths of this machine is definitely its ability to handle big impacts while also putting significant pressure on the front wheel. That, combined with the new Conti SM2 tire, allows for an almost unreasonable amount of front-end grip, even without an extensive warm-up time. I did just one warm-up lap, and then I was already able to push it quite hard. I made full use of that strength, as well as the fact that I did not have to worry much in the braking zones. I braked really hard, and even when the bike had a slight lean angle, it did not become unstable. That gave me confidence, and I leaned into that advantage throughout the lap. I am really curious to see where it places on the leaderboard. Generally, I tend to be faster on sporty, compact, naked bikes than on supermotos, but I have been surprised before, like when I rode the Gas. However, that was on a slightly cooler day. Today, I definitely reached my limits. I am absolutely amazed. I do not think it was a record-breaking lap time, but I am sure it was a very respectable one. I am looking forward to reading the comments below. Who among you is a supermoto fan? And who dreams of owning one of these totally over-the-top, completely unreasonable machines? Absolutely brilliant.